G-Unit, nigga, fuck is you talking about? We back with another one, fuck is you talking about? That's just for the rest of them niggas that was still hating. I ain't gonna stop, this ain't gonna never stop, cause I ain't gonna never stop till the body drop, fuck is you talking about? No, but we finna get into a situation that I don't feel like gets discussed, cause I kinda really didn't know too much about it, but we about to find out today. But Eddie Murphy got caught up with a transgender, and like, niggas just, I guess, let this shit fly all under the window and carpet, so let's see what the fuck is up.
In 1997, one of the biggest and definitely strangest scandals in Hollywood history happened when Eddie Murphy's car was stopped by police and he was found with a transsexual prostitute inside. The official story of what went down that night is strange enough, but there is also way more to the story, including a Hollywood fixer who may have saved Murphy's career and a very suspicious death that many believe was murder. Eddie Murphy was the biggest movie star alive in the 1980s, but his career took a serious nosedive once the 90s arrived. But then he started releasing family comedies like The Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. They were smash hits, and his career was seemingly revitalized as a family-friendly movie star. Then May 2nd, 1997 happened. Murphy was out driving at 4:45 a.m. in a West Hollywood neighborhood known for transsexual prostitutes. And a trans prostitute named Addison Ciuli got into his Land Cruiser. Police stopped the car, interrogated Murphy, and arrested Ciuli because she had an outstanding warrant. Murphy wasn't charged with a crime, and he claimed he saw a woman out walking very late at night, decided to be a good Samaritan and offer her a ride home, and had no idea she was actually a trans prostitute. This Good Samaritan explanation was ridiculed and mocked, but Murphy claimed it was all just a big misunderstanding. But the controversy got more serious when tabloid newspapers came out with articles featuring other transsexual prostitutes who claimed they'd been with Murphy, and some went into graphic detail about what they'd done together. One trans sex worker named Summer St. Cirilli said that Murphy, quote, seems utterly obsessed with men dressed as women and the way they live. The Enquirer also had an interview with Addison Ciuli, who said, Eddie's claim that he was giving me a lift makes me laugh. I'm a transsexual hooker and he knew that. The articles were a complete disaster for Murphy's new family-friendly image, and he filed separate $5 million lawsuits against the tabloids, alleging that the papers had printed false statements from the
I'm gonna say this real fast. If you gonna be gay, bro, don't be down low about it, bro. Be honest, bro. Be out and open, because this is what these niggas is gonna do. They gonna do what they believe bitches do, and bitches, they believe bitches is gonna drop that bomb on a nigga and embarrass a nigga. But this is what happens when you do shit in the dark and it come out in the light, my nigga. They say everybody knew this area was having transgenders in it, and they was hookers and prostitutes and the shit, my nigga. So you clear, I don't know, maybe he didn't know, you feel me? But if the nigga saying he knew, then shit, I don't know, it's two sides to the story, that's all I'm saying.
Transsexual prostitutes. But the papers stood by their stories, and they prepared to defend themselves against Murphy's lawsuits. And then Murphy found an unlikely ally who just might have saved him. He was a mysterious Hollywood fixer who was once one of the biggest gay porn stars in the industry, and he had a plan to save Eddie Murphy's reputation. In 2001, a man named Paul Baresi talked about his involvement in the Eddie Murphy transsexual scandal for an article titled The Bagman, which appeared in the New Times LA and was awarded runner-up for Best Hard News Story at the LA.
I ain't gonna lie, it's a few times where you're gonna see Eddie Murphy kind of looking a little funny, right? And right here is one of them times where I say he looking funny. If y'all know his music career, if y'all ever seen like Eddie Murphy sing, we might react to some Eddie Murphy music. He be real zesty when he be doing shit. Just like this picture is real fucking zesty and spicy as fuck right now. And the fact that you went to a gay nigga to fix your gay problem, I don't know, I ain't fucking with it.
Press Club Awards. And his account of the Eddie Murphy controversy is absolutely wild. So first off, Paul Baresi is a really mysterious Hollywood figure who was a popular gay porn star in the 1980s. He also acted in a few mainstream movies, including Perfect with John Travolta in 1983, and he made headlines when he claimed he'd had sex with Travolta dozens of times, a claim.
I know they didn't just throw my nigga John Travolta in this bullshit, my nigga. You can't be fucking serious. I don't believe it. But it might be true. We might do some damn research into that, because that's my nigga. I never heard this at all, ever, in my life, nigga. John Travolta is my nigga. That's Grease, nigga. That's motherfucking Face Off, nigga. That's John Gotti, goddammit.
he later took back. After his porn career, Baresi became a sort of shadowy, underground private investigator slash fixer in Hollywood who celebrities hired when they had a problem to take care of. And over the years, he's worked on behalf of stars like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Tom Cruise. The details of what exactly he did for these celebrities are a little murky. Baresi claims he would do things that ranged from investigative work to intimidation. These high-powered people came to me to solve some of these problems, Baresi said. The legal way didn't work, so they had to resort to desperate measures that go against what's considered morally correct or politically correct. And that's where I came in. When asked if he ever got violent, Baresi said, "You trying to get me arrested? I'm not going to answer that question. The key is knowing how far you can go without going too far." Baresi claimed that after reading about the Eddie Murphy scandal, he contacted Murphy's lawyer Marty Mad Dog Singer with a plan to save Eddie Murphy. Baresi would find the trans sex workers who'd talked to the tabloids by using his contacts in the porn world, then persuade them to say they were lying about their relationship with Murphy, which would ruin the credibility of the tabloid articles. Baresi said, "My role was pretty much to neutralize the transsexuals." Baresi first tracked down a transsexual ex-dominatrix named Carnal Candy, who was considered a, quote, den mother for transsexual prostitutes. Candy had been heavily quoted in the tabloid stories about Murphy. Her friends had been telling her for years about Murphy's fetish for transsexuals, and she'd heard so many stories that she was...
This nigga cheeks is strong as fuck. This nigga cheeks is big as fuck, bro. I mean, like, if I punch that nigga in his shit, it don't look like that shit a phase. It might break my fucking hand. His shit, like, look like that. You know what I mean? What the fuck? And these niggas is dressed like bitches. That's the killer
writing
part.
a book titled In the Closet with Eddie Murphy. Baresi claimed he offered Candy $15,000 to give a sworn statement that the stories she'd told the tabloids about Murphy were lies. And an IRS document she provided confirmed she'd been paid $15,000 by Singer's law firm. She openly confessed that she'd changed her story simply for the money. "We were telling lies because they were giving me $15,000, she said. "I never had that much money together at one time." Baresi found two more transsexuals who'd talked to the tabloids. They too were paid to say they'd lied about their relationships with Murphy, even though they both later admitted they'd retracted their stories because they were paid off. "I needed the money," one said. "When someone gives you $2,500 to say you don't know someone, you just think about the money." Baresi freely admitted that he was paying the prostitutes to change their stories about Murphy. Sure, it was a payoff, he said. Baresi also knew of an Eddie Murphy lookalike whose resemblance to Murphy was so striking that he'd made a living of getting free meals, concert tickets, and hotel stays by impersonating Murphy. At Baresi's urging, many of the transsexuals swore under oath that it was the Murphy imposter they'd been with, not Murphy himself. They paid us to say it was an Eddie Murphy.
This is the most devious shit I've ever heard in my life. So y'all moved all the gay niggas from one nigga to the other nigga. So y'all finna fuck up this nigga's reputation with some gay shit and then take off the heat off this nigga for some gay shit that y'all know he was doing. But y'all gonna put it on his damn doppelganger. Yo, they wrong as fuck. How did Eddie Murphy get the fuck away with
The
this?
imposter, a trans sex worker named Valerie Gale said. "I dated the man 3 different times and I don't date imposters, honey. First time he came up in a cream-colored Rolls. He came up to our apartment and we got busy. It was definitely Eddie Murphy." But throughout all the payoffs and sworn statements and changing stories, there was one who refused the money. Addison Ciuli, the transsexual who Murphy picked up, had turned into a minor celebrity and was prominently featured in the tabloid articles. She was offered $10,000 by Baresi to stop speaking about Murphy, but she turned it down. And her story does not have a happy ending. Roughly a year after her fling with Eddie Murphy, Ciuli's dead body was found on the pavement outside of her apartment. The official story was that she'd worked at a club until 4 a.m. and had locked herself out of her apartment. She tried to access a window to her 5th-story apartment by climbing to the roof and lowering herself to the window, but she fell to the pavement. But many don't buy that explanation at all. Many believe she was murdered. Friends of Ciuli stated that she'd been threatened after her encounter with Murphy, warnings that she, quote, keep her mouth shut. Her brother David told Globe magazine that Ciuli became paranoid and feared a hitman was following her. Carnal Candy set up a tribute site after Ciuli's death and claimed that she was murdered. Years later, a filmmaker was making a documentary on Ciuli and talked to a woman who'd been a tenant in her building. The woman told him that she'd heard a scream on the night Ciuli died, then she walked out of her door and saw a man in all black exiting Ciuli's apartment. Still, the official story is that Ciuli fell to her death and no foul play was involved. There were rumors she was writing a tell-all book and preparing to file a $1.2 million lawsuit against Murphy at the time, but this was never confirmed. And the final curious thing happened when Murphy abruptly dropped the lawsuits he'd filed against the tabloids. Nearly every sex worker interviewed for the Murphy stories had given a sworn statement saying they'd lied to the tabloids, which seemingly made winning the $5 million defamation cases a slam dunk. Instead, Murphy dropped the lawsuits, and even more strangely, he agreed to pay the tabloids legal fees, which very rarely happens in legal battles like these. The Enquirer's attorney Gerson Zweefox said, "You can't win bigger than that when you're defending against a lawsuit. To have the other guy agree to go away and pay your legal fees, it's a happy day in the tabloid wars." It's possible Murphy dropped the lawsuits because he just wanted the controversy to disappear, but it's also been speculated that the tabloids had found other transsexuals who weren't paid off who could have come forward during the trial. At any rate, the scandal mostly went away after Murphy dropped the lawsuits and Ciuli died. It's definitely one of the stranger Hollywood stories out there, and it's a very interesting glimpse into how a major celebrity scandal was taken care of behind the scenes. And of course, some believe there is much more to the story of what happened the night Ciuli died.
Finna say this. I didn't know Eddie Murphy was gay like that. Well, what the fuck is it called? As far as what the fuck everybody assume, an assumption, that this nigga is gay. But yeah. The evidence is looking pretty fucking strong. And another thing is, why would you not get your money back from, like, I would not, like, I'm finna hunt these niggas down, period, nigga. Fuck all of that. Y'all tried to play with my fucking sexuality as a man. I don't feel like that's a battle you usually back down from. So I don't know. I would kind of say he probably put this under the rug for a reason. And then another thing is, I'm really bothered by the fact that this nigga's calling this damn man a her. These is niggas. These is niggas in wigs. The damn magazine even said, damn, these niggas is in wigs, and Eddie Murphy like niggas with wigs. That shit creepy as fuck, though. So this nigga basically was trying to get away with, like, being gay on the low. But this is why I say, bro, well, this really just go to show how like, over hypersexual Hollywood is, and how much gay shit go on behind the scenes that people don't even know. This was the weirdest shit I probably done seen and reacted to. I don't know. I don't think no, I'm lying. We just did Fleece Jones not too long ago, but yeah. Eddie fucked me up with this one. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's bad enough that you got caught with the nigga in your car, but everybody giving out descriptive ass testimonies and shit, talking about the type of car you drive, which is 9 times out of 10 probably what the fuck you driving. Then another thing is, you paying for these people lost, you paying for their motherfucking court fees and shit like that when you was the one suing them for your reputation, and your reputation was on the line. That's a little suspicious. Y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think, man. Like, subscribe, peace. I'm out, man. Fuck all this episode. This shit is weird. Hollywood is just really like, they really been cutting. These niggas is working and observing. Trying to close your curtains. These hoes be perping. Oh, she told me, boy, watch your back. They come, ayy. These niggas bound to attack.